Welcome in today, team, and what we're doing for this session is not an intense workout. We're actually going to be using our foam roller here. So there are many different types of foam rollers and many purposes for using it. Today, I'm using it personally because I ran a marathon yesterday. You don't have to have run a marathon to benefit from this kind of training session though. This is really good for loosening up your muscles. You gotta think of a foam roller a little bit like your own personal masseuse, okay? So when you are rolling and when you're finding the tight spots in your muscles, think about a masseuse with their magical hands and their thumbs, finding a tight spot in the muscles and then working out the knots. That's what this is about. The magical term here is myofascial release. It's all about finding the tight spots, sitting on them, and sitting on them long enough that your brain releases signals in order to loosen up all of those tight fibers there. So myofascial release, that's what today's about. You can get these sorts of rollers from most department stores and fitness stores. And this is a really good one to start with because you can see there's a lot of squish, there's a lot of give in this, and it's nice and flat, relatively flat. I'm gonna be using this guy. This is called the rumble roller. This is an actual medieval torture device. So what you can think of each of these is there's not a lot of give to them. And it's like it's like a rolling pin filled with knuckles. So that's what I'm gonna be using. This one brings tears, exactly, Mikey. So it's a 20-minute session. With this one though, I would encourage you, if you're watching this on YouTube, if you find one area that needs a bit of work, please don't be afraid to pause the video, spend a little bit more time on it. I'm gonna be doing some relatively short sections with this, like about a minute or so, but you can go for 2 minutes, 3 minutes if you like. So just pause it, work on the area, resume, and then we can shift on. But what I've done here with this routine is hopefully I've grabbed enough of a profile of movements that we're able to roll out most of our body. So I'm gonna kick this off. We've got 20 seconds. First off, you see that the first exercise is the calf. What I'm doing is a whole one side of the body. So we're gonna go right calves, and then we're gonna do right quads and right hamstring, etc. And then we're gonna switch over to the other side of the body. So it's one side and then one side, okay? So here we go. Kicking off in 20 seconds. What you're gonna do is take a seat. You can do this on a mat, popping the roller down, and we're gonna start off with the right hand side. So I'm gonna start down at the ankle here. Getting ready for this. With your calf, what you wanna be doing is either lifting your body with your calf down here towards the Achilles, and you're gonna be rolling left and right. So this is not about fast and aggressive movements with the roller. It's all very subtle, and this gives me a chance to talk about what I'm doing. So you can see my toes, my foot. I'm actually rolling my foot from left to right. So over the course of these 60 seconds, I'm gonna try and work my way from the ankle and the Achilles, up the calf, and if you find a spot, see we're halfway through now, you probably do want to pause and spend a bit more time, especially me after this marathon. I'm finding a lot of knots in here. If I find a spot where there's a knot like this, right here, I'm gonna lift this leg up, pop the ankle onto the knee, and put a lot of pressure. I'm just gonna put so much pressure onto this knot. And over a couple of seconds, you can feel it just dissolve. And I'm gonna move on. So it dissolves and moves on. There we go. Nice, and you should have made your way all the way up to just behind the knee there. Done. So now we've got the tib ant. This is the tibialis anterior, the muscle along the front of the calf. And the way to do this is actually to kneel down onto it. I like to start up at the knee here. And you're gonna put your pressure into the side of the calf, so the side of the shin, not the shin bone. Okay, so you start at the top, and this one, you can do a little bit of lateral lefting and righting. Bit of lateral. Hey Max, how you going? But I'm starting at the top and I'm just rolling all of that tension down towards my ankle. So this is one where you're not gonna get a lot of lateral movement, but hopefully what's happening, if you feel alongside the shin there, there's a bit of a muscle that goes down the front. That's what we're resting on, okay? So it's actually starting up here, and then we're rolling all of that tension down to the front. So that's what you should be feeling. This is one of my favorites because not a lot of people do this roll, but it's such a good bang for your buck roll as you get towards the ankle. and then you can slowly make your way up after that. Sweet, so taking 15 seconds, we're now gonna hit the hamstring. So this is the upper portion. So we did the calf first, we're now gonna go the hamstring. We're gonna start at the knee, okay? So we're gonna pop this right leg on top. And again, same rule applies. We're actually using our body weight. So if you can put your foot up onto your knee, and we're gonna roll left and right here, finding any knotty spots, any knots, and just taking that time, taking that 60 seconds. Oh, right there. When you find a spot, you're gonna pause, you're gonna keep the pressure on it, and you're gonna trust the process. There it goes. You're gonna trust the process in the, oh, there's a second knot right there. So like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube at home and you find multiple little spots, pause the video because you're gonna need time to actually roll those ones out. There we go. Cool. So now I'm feeling really, really loose in the hamstring. Really, really good. Brilliant. Okay, so we've got the quad to do now. So remember, we're working the right leg this whole time. I'm gonna start at the knee, and I'm gonna work my way up. So this one we get into a little bit of a weird position. We're actually gonna plank on top of it. So you see my knee, just above my knee, is on the roller now. And again, I'm gonna be rolling right and left. So you work your way down a little bit, just inch it up the quad, but you're gonna be rolling right there. Ugh. This is the time when I seriously reconsider using the rumble roller. Number one, it's benefiting me a lot, but you're gonna be getting a lot of noises on stream and in this video. I do apologize. But here we go, working our way up until you get into the hip flexor. So above the quad, in the crease of the hip there's the hip flexor, and that needs some love, that needs some attention. So you're gonna sit in there. And again, pause if you need more time. I feel like I should be pausing this. If I was doing this video at home, I'd be pausing it, okay? We've now got the we've now got the right glute to do. This one here. So what we're gonna do with the glute is we're gonna sit on the roller. And what we're gonna do, number one, is we're gonna push our right glute into it. We're gonna put the left ankle up on the right knee, okay? So this portion here, this is doing the gluteus maximus, okay? So you're gonna roll into the glute, you're gonna feel all those little muscles in there, and you're gonna roll left and right a little bit. But what I'm gonna do is halfway through this interval, is I'm gonna swap my legs over, okay? So I'm doing the glute max, which is the big one on the top. Now, I'm gonna actually roll my right ankle onto the left knee, and then rolling into the right-hand side again. So this is the glute med. And if you've done a marathon, if you've done any kind of long run, the glute meds are the big important stabilizer muscles that often tire first. These are the ones that get tired and they lead to things like knee problems. Hey Dippy. When you don't have the strength to keep your glute meds stable. So they're a really good one to roll after a big long run. So you see, we're going back to the calf now. So this is left-hand side, okay? So left-hand calf now. So starting down at the ankle, and we're gonna roll left and right. So you see how my foot is twisting? We're not going up and down the muscle fibers. We're not rolling in the direction of the muscle fibers. We're doing that slowly, but we're not going up and back over them like a rolling pin. Instead, I'm rolling left and right over them in the perpendicular direction to the fibers. Because what that helps do is just separate them out, massage them out, break up some of those knots, like this one. And when I find a knot, it's pressure. That's so good. That's the good one. That's the goods. There we go. And just making our way to the top of the calf there. Just a couple of extra seconds because I missed out the top of it. Oh, lovely. All right, tib ant. So we've got the shin. Now it's not the bone. This one as well, if you ever get shin splints from running, I'm starting up at the knee, and you can see I'm kind of at an angle here because I'm not rolling the actual shin bone. That would be way too painful. I'm rolling out the muscle that just goes on alongside the shin. It's on what we call the lateral side of the shin. It's if you're on your left leg, it's on the left of the shin bone on the front. And I'm starting at the top and then just rolling all that tension out down towards the ankle. And you feel it as you get down towards the bottom of the ankle there. There's just a whole lot of just release. And very, very good feeling here at the front. Once you get to the bottom, you can actually start to roll your way up. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And you'll feel, hopefully, especially if you're using these rumble rollers, just how much it loosens up that muscle on the front. And if you want, you can actually go to the side a bit as well, if you need to. You can go to the side of your tibia, because there's a lot of muscles on the side there that tend to get worked, especially if you're wearing the wrong footwear. If you're wearing unstable footwear that causes excessive pronation or supination, then the sides of your calves can actually get a little bit touchy there. Okay, now we've got the hamstring on the left-hand side. So starting again, just under the knee or just above the knee, but under your leg. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Left to right roll, but making your way up toward the glute ever so slowly. My left hamstring is not too bad. My right hamstring had some very, very silly knots in it. Okay. So rolling up and down. I probably could do like a workout today, but I won't. I'm gonna be sensible about it. A marathon is not to be snubbed off. A lot of people after running a marathon will need to take 2 or 3 days of just not doing anything crazy or hard at all. Okay, we've got this quad to do. So look after your body. Your central nervous system is gonna need a little bit of rest, so that's your sleeping. You're just gonna need to do something not too crazy. Even when you go to work, you might find sometimes there's a bit of brain fog. Left quad. Oh, the quads. So I have a feeling, because of the amount of training that I do, just the day-to-day stuff that I'm doing here on Twitch, my quads are actually quite conditioned and quite seasoned. A lot of the guys yesterday, Michael actually had some pretty bad quad cramps. The VMO, the big teardrop shaped muscle above the knee, cramped up multiple times. So towards the end of the marathon, it did break down into okay, I'm gonna walk this bit while this cramp subsides, and then he'd feel good again and jog. And that's what you'll find sometimes. The whole journey of a marathon is actually quite, we're in the hip flexor now. It's a roller coaster. It's an up and down of physical and also just emotions. They go up and down. And for Michael, I hope he doesn't mind me saying this. After we crossed the finish line and we shut the cameras off, he was a little bit teary-eyed, which happens. It happens a lot. It's a very emotional thing. Okay, so, whoa, and this left glute, yuck. Okay. So, the emotions can run pretty high and can be pretty whack during a marathon. It's tough, you push through. One of the toughest, Pestily himself said that this was one of the toughest runs he's ever done. He said that he's sure that during basic training, they would have put him through a marathon, but you wouldn't have known it because okay, we got halfway through, we're gonna swap sides. Not swap sides, but swap leg side, and then get into this bloody, The glute med. This needs time. I'm probably gonna do a bit of this later today as well. I'm not on mic, not on camera. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So he's sure that during basic training they would have covered that, but not in like one go, one stint, monotonous, let's go kind of thing. So for him, it was actually one of the hardest ones he's done. So we're doing the upper back now. Very important when you're doing rolling, don't roll your lower back, okay? Now, you might see some people actually able to roll their lower backs. I'm not gonna say that you're not meant to do it or you can't do it. It's just a high risk area to roll, okay? So you can see what I'm doing. I've actually got the roller here just under my shoulder blades, and that's where I'm gonna start. It's just under my shoulder blades, and I've got all of my weight on it because I've lifted my glutes off the floor, and I'm just rolling in. And what I'm doing, as I get just below my shoulders, I'm moving my arms like this, because you're gonna feel all of those little shoulder muscles and all of those little dimples in the scapula. You're gonna feel all of those bits, especially on a rumble roller here, all of those multiple little thumbs just making their way into little crevasses, which is fantastic. So again, spend some more time here if you need to. Now this is where I cry. The lat, and Makalito knows this. The lat is the muscle under here, okay? And what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna move my mic. I'm gonna start off. As soon as I lay on that, you can feel it. I'm gonna start off down pretty low, and I'm gonna roll backwards and forward. There's not a lot of talking right now. I actually don't think I need to tell you where to be rolling. As soon as you get into this posture, just under your arm, and you're rolling backwards and forwards. So you see me, I'm sort of laying back, and then I'm rolling forwards again. I'm not even putting a lot of body weight on myself. If I was a beast, I'd be lifting my hips up like this. Let's give it a shot. Oh, Jesus. I'm putting my hip back down. All right. Oh, but do this, like rotate your shoulders around after doing your lat, and you cannot tell me that that's helped loosen things up. It's great. The other thing to note as well, I was running yesterday with a hydration pack because yesterday's marathon, oh, yuck. It was largely self-supported. There was one aid station in the 7.5 kilometer loop. So I didn't really want to be, I was fine to carry my own hydration. So I had essentially a 4 kilo pack. I had 4 liters of water on me. Well, 2 liters of water and then 2 liters of tailwind and electrolytes. And wearing a hydration pack whilst running actually uses a whole lot of upper back muscles that you don't realize it. So that's one thing, Goth. If you're planning on wearing a hydration pack, then you need to be training in that hydration pack. You kind of need to buy it early and spend as much time as you can wearing that pack. Okay, we're going back into the upper back just because, like I said, a lot more muscles in there, okay? So we've got a couple of minutes, starting low, rotating left and right, left and right. I'm going nice and slowly. So for me, I get all sorts of little knots just in the upper back. Don't ever roll your neck, okay? So when I said don't roll your lower back, I've seen people rolling their lower backs before. It is possible to do safely, but I'm not going to tell anyone on stream to do that because there is a higher potential for risk, especially if you are someone with already at-risk bulging discs, etc. Rolling it can cause more damage. So please just stay away from that area unless you're under the supervision of a professional. But the neck is another one. Just do not roll your neck, because all it takes is one of these little nodules to go into the wrong spot and just twinge a nerve or push a vertebrae out, and it's a bad time. So just the upper back muscles, okay? So in between here and there. Is this 2 sets of lats? Oh, I think I may have messed up. What was it? It was the lat on the other side. So I'm gonna do this left lat now. What was the one after that lat? So I'm just doing this left-hand side one. Oh, yuck. Right there. Right there. There we go. Gold, how are you with your lats? With rolling your lats out? Three, two, one. Nice. Oh, it was the chest and the bicep before. I messed that up. I might have to do a bit of a re-recording. But, question about, you do have some questions? Yeah, cool, no stress. So the chest and the bicep, what we're doing here, actually, you're gonna start just here and roll up. What I might do is try and record over that. So I'm doing the right-hand side chest and bicep now. So what I'm doing, you can see my arm is pushed back. I'm rolling the pec. Now this is something, I'm gonna put it out there again, different body types. If you've got a female presenting upper body type, obviously there's gonna be some obstacles in the way to rolling your chest. Just avoid this, you don't have to. If you do have direct access to the muscles through flesh, and look, just if I have to paint it black and white, if you've got boobs, if you've got large boobs, then don't do this roll because it'll just hurt. And it's not 100% necessary. But with men, you should be able to, or like I said, men or male presenting, sweet, awesome. All right, thank you for watching. That's a quick little tutorial on how to foam roll yourself out after something like a marathon there. So if you want to check out any workouts we've got here on Twitch, or on YouTube, sorry, the green ones are entry-level beginner workouts, the blues are the intermediates, and the purple ones are your epic tier workouts. So they're a little bit more intense if you're looking for a bit of a challenge. So if you'd like to join us live, twitch.tv/fit4purpose, Adelaide time in the mornings. Otherwise, we'll see you on some more YouTube videos. See ya.